By the US government, I got tagged a terrorist. By the Taliban, I got tagged as a US spy. You have engaged in a terrorist activity.
It's a short sentence that could end up being a death sentence.
How did that make you feel?
It blew my mind. How can they say that? Just you should have told me that you don't deserve to live in this great country.
Zalmay Niazi, or Z as he's known, worked as an Afghan interpreter for the U.S. military for roughly 2 years, starting in 2007, and came to the United States in 2014, making a home for himself in Iowa.
I just want to be alive.
But his story started much earlier, when the 33-year-old was just 9. And he says he and other kids were forced by the Taliban to get them bread.
Motorcycle stopped right by our house, and there was 5, 6 of us, and said, every one of you are going home and bring a piece of bread. Otherwise we will burn this house and we will do this. And I was scared. I had to. I thought I was a hero. I protected my family, and the bread was not bigger than a cell phone.
Z told that story during his asylum interview with U.S. officials. And now the United States says he engaged in terrorist activity. Niazi suspects they're referring to the bread incident.
I applied for political asylum. It's my right. I want to be alive.
His future in the U.S. is in question. Years after that interview, the Homeland Security Department sent him this document saying, "This is not a denial of your asylum application, but your asylum application has been referred to an immigration judge for adjudication and removal proceedings. The immigration judge will evaluate your asylum claim independently and is not required to follow the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services evaluation that Niazi had engaged in terrorist activity."
What they do is instead say, rather than deciding whether or not you meet all the statutory requirements for an asylum, we're going to say that you weren't eligible to walk into the country in the first place.
Back in Afghanistan, Z says the Taliban still threatens his family. They killed his uncle.
I couldn't see that picture. It was always a shock for me.
Now he fears he may suffer the same fate if the Biden administration deports him back to Afghanistan.
By the US government, I got tagged a terrorist. By the Taliban, I got tagged as a US spy. I'm a human too. I want to be alive.
If you were sitting across from President Biden right now, what would you say to him?
You're the leader, and promises made, but the promises have to be kept.